This is Åsa with a new scrapbook process video. Today I'm working with 4 photos from an outing we did while we visited Västervik during our vacation. And when we had gone around in town for a while, we decided to have coffee over at Gränsö, which is it's an island, but it's connected to mainland with a bridge. It's not very far, so it's a very short bridge, but an island nevertheless. And there on this island, and in this kind of a rural area, there is a castle, and it's not one of those like German castles from a fairy tale, but a more modern kind of castle. And in the garden there's a cafe, and further to the side there's a hotel, and it's a really nice place with a huge garden, and then you can go down to the sea, and there's a couple of walking paths there, and you can just have a nice time there. When I was living in Västervik, we like to go out there for like having a picnic there, and just spend the time in the environment there. Perhaps not just by the castle, but there's also really nice rocks there that where you can sunbathe, and the nature there is very very nice, especially during summer when you can enjoy the seaside. And when we had my student prom, it was at this castle, so I have fond memories from this place. And when we went there with the family now, we had coffee at the cafe, and it's really expensive there but we don't go out much, so we thought it was worth it, and take the kids to a fancy cafe, and we had pie, and it was very nice. Sometimes I feel that it's a waste of money to give the kids food in this kind of place, but it's the experience, and it's something that we'll have in our memory. And when I ask the kids about it, they still remember this strawberry pie that they have there, so I guess it's worth it. We went for a walk after we had our coffee, and we enjoyed the seaside, and we taught the kids about this system where they have this taxi boat, and how they signal that they want to go on the boat, and everything, and we had a really nice time there. I remember that our son, he fell asleep in the car, and he wasn't in the best mood when we arrived there, and he wanted to be carried, and we struggled a bit with that, but I think in my memory all those things will kind of disappear, and I will only remember the fun things, and that's what I'll be writing in my journaling. Since I wanted to enhance the kind of the castle feeling and the atmosphere of the castle, and like the fancy part of this environment, I decided to pull out some papers from Graphic 45. And I love their products, but I'm really bad at using them. They normally don't fit my style, and when I buy the papers because I fall for them, I just love them and I want to own them, I often end up using the backside and not these heavily patterned and more like ephemera kind of papers. But this time I'll be using the like the pictures, the A side of this page, and I have cut out a bunch of those just to place randomly all around my photo block. The photo block consists of 4 photos, and 2 of them I placed side by side so that they form the walking path up to the castle. And the sky has 2 completely different tones of blue, and in this view here it really bothers me, but I think that in the finished page it's not that obvious, so that's okay. Now I'm just fiddling around a bit with those pieces, and I realize that I really want to make a journaling block, and then the big problem starts where to put it, but I'll manage to fit it in after a while. When I first started this page, I wanted to place it on a piece of pattern paper, but I have realized that often when I do that I change my mind, and this was one of those occasions when I really did, and ended up making the page on a white piece of paper instead. And I think that since I use so many photos on most of my layouts, I don't have room for a pattern. Then it needs to be really subtle, or I need to cover it up almost completely to not have it overpowering my layout. And I think that's the style that I'm using. It's so photo focused that I can't have really bold backgrounds. I like the subtle papers a lot more, but those aren't really patterned. So yeah, it's I love the patterned papers and I want to buy them, but I think they're really hard to use when it comes to my style of scrapbooking. Recently I've realized that I scrapbook very differently than others, and I also think that my what shall I call it, the reason why I scrapbook and the reason why I do layouts, it's a bit different. And I also noticed that a lot of YouTubers want to use up their supplies, and I can't really do that. I have no such urge in me that I want to use up and just get rid of my supplies. And perhaps that's because I live far away from the deals, and I rarely can make deals so that I have lots of supplies. I do have lots of things that that's that's for sure, but I don't have as much that I can feel that I need to use it. I need to get rid of it. I need to get it in my album. On the other hand, I have lots of photos and I want to get those into my album. So my main focus is to get the photos into an album, and the products that go with it, it's just if it's necessary. And my style is not that embellished, since I use multi-photos. So I've been thinking a lot about this style thing lately, and I'm becoming more and more aware of what I do, which is a bit different to what's in style. And I'm learning a lot of myself, or about myself and my scrapbooking, and I think it's very interesting. These wonderful wooden embellishments that I'm putting on the page now are from Kaisercraft, and I got them from my friend Linda in a package she sent me, and I've been waiting to use them because they are so beautiful, and I thought they fitted perfectly with this posh cafe that we went to, or really like luxuries and castle flavor kind of cafe. So that fancy cup and the lovely flourished teapot or coffee pot there was perfect embellishments on this page. I have still another teapot and another cup for another occasion, and I do love to to take photos when we go to cafes and when we have coffee in fancy places. So they will be used later when I have the perfect photos. Now I want to make a title for this page, and I will be using my trusty Silhouette Cameo, the best tool I've ever bought, and I'm looking for scraps of paper that I can cut the title out of. And I've found some different pieces of this yellowy kind of beige paper, and since there's a grid on the cutting mat, I can use really tiny scraps as long as I make sure to stay within the measurements that my cut file has. So that's really nice. And when I bought the Cameo, I didn't realize that you can use it like that, so I was really happy when I discovered this way of conserving or being frugal with your scraps, and I've used that technique a lot. So the grid on the cutting mat is very good. And when you cut, you also have the same grid lines in the studio program, so that you can just count inches from the edge of the paper, and then you can place your cut image there. So it's really nice. The title that I'm writing here is the name of the cafe, so it's Gränsö Slottscafé, and I'm writing it in a font that's been my favorite for a while now. It's called Brambollfet, and I will write that here on the screen just now. My journaling, I wrote it on a piece of ledger paper that I had for ages. I keep a special file folder with line papers that I can use for journaling, and this is a really old piece, which I love. It's got really nice color, and it suited these other embellishments or the ephemera die cuts that I had from the Graphic 45. My journaling was about us going to Gränsö and what we had at the cafe, and also the walk that we went on after we had coffee. So it's the story of this event. And here's the finished page, where you can see the lovely colors of the title and the wood embellishment and the pattern papers and the ledger paper. It all fits perfectly in the same kind of tone. And I hope that you have enjoyed this process, and even though it's really simple, I think it's a really stylish page in my album. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. See you soon. This is Åsa. Bye.